Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Altius Images Drone Positive podcast. I'm Todd Dudley and I'm the founder and director of Altius Images. As a drone pilot, the negative press that drones receive annoys me no end. This podcast is trying to change the negative public perception of our multi-roted friends, one positive story at a time. There are plenty of stories out there that show just how amazing drones can be, and I'll be bringing you one of these stories each week. So let's fly into some positivity and see just how amazing drones are. I hope you're all safe and well and that you're feeling okay with whatever your situation is. I'm feeling pretty optimistic this week, so let's jump into some positive news. Today, we've got a brand new story from Ireland in which drones are being used to deliver essential medicines directly to people's doors. It comes off the back of a company called Mana Aero having to abandon its fast food drone delivery tests and is now partnering with Ireland's health authority to deliver prescriptions instead. A worthier cause, if you ask me. They are working with a health service executive to deliver medicines and other essential supplies to vulnerable people in the small rural town of Moneygall. The company's trial uses autonomous drones made in Wales, and it's looking at the possibility of testing in the UK within weeks. The UK has already announced a test of drones to carry supplies to the Isle of Wight during the COVID-19 pandemic, as we heard on last week's episode of Drone Positive. Also, in Florida, care home residents will soon be able to have their prescriptions delivered, but those tests are on fixed flight paths. And the Irish flights are going straight to homes, the final stage of a closed-loop, end-to-end system the company says is a first. Local GPs write prescriptions after a video consultation, which drones then drop off at patients' homes. The craft can also deliver essential supplies, such as milk or bread, to those who are not supposed to go outside. Fidelma Gleeson, 70 years old, said it was absolutely brilliant. I thought I'd never see the day that there would be such technology that I wouldn't have to be driving into town and back up to get my medicine. Brilliant, she said. Dr. Colm O'Reilly, a GP in nearby Tumavera, said it was a great assistance in a rural area where there may not be as much support as you might have in the city. In these troubled times, it's great to see how technology is coming together to assist us in helping our patients, he said. Mana Aero Chief Executive Bobby Healy said he wanted to bring the trials to the UK to, quote, show people what we can do, perhaps work with the NHS. We are actually looking to do that within the next few weeks, on the assumption that the lockdown is going to continue, he said. The idea was born after a very different trial, to deliver takeaways to college students in mid-March, was put on hold because of the pandemic. The drone can carry up to 4 kilograms or 9 pounds in its cargo cassette, which is about the size of a large shoebox. But the focus has shifted. We're not going to be selling hamburgers, Mr. Healy said. We're going to be selling what the elderly people really need to have, so basic necessities. The mobile command centre for the drones is based at Barack Obama Plaza, a motorway services renamed in 2011 when the US president came to visit the home of one of his Irish ancestors. I'm sure you've all seen the video of him having that Guinness. Mana Aero says it is equipped to handle up to 100 deliveries a day, and with some 500 towns in the Irish Republic of roughly the same size, it hopes the Moneygall test will validate the concept for rural deliveries across Ireland and the UK. Mr. Healy said, it's about proving that if there's a world in the future where you need to do a lockdown at scale, that drones can be a massive solution. The drones are built about 10 miles north of Cardiff, a centre of excellence for aviation already home to thousands of Airbus employees. They can fly in moderate gales, though Mana chooses not to, have redundant batteries and flight computers, and a parachute for gentle descents if a, quote, 1 in 10 million failure happens. In fact, Mr. Healy prefers to call them aircraft, and points out his company is regulated as an airline. It's not particularly beautiful, Mr. Healy said. It's not particularly fast or any of those things. It's just incredibly safe. And although the drones are completely autonomous, a pilot is present at all times to intervene. The UK Space Agency is looking at the possibility of creating air corridors between different locations in the coming months to aid the fight against COVID-19. This is going to be something where you find a few hospitals who are aware of the challenges that they are facing and up for engaging with us, Application Strategy Head Emily Gravestock said. But maintaining public safety during such trials was the biggest concern of all involved. That's the thing that has absolutely got to be proven before we put any kind of air corridor or opportunity in place, Ms. Gravestock said. You've then got to work with the local community. It could concern people to have drones flying over delivering services across their properties, across their gardens. But hopefully, if this trial goes well, we can get the public on board with the use of drones, and this will start to become a far more common thing. Over the last few weeks, we've been speculating that the COVID-19 pandemic might just speed along a bit of regulation like this, and based on last week's story and today's story, it seems like that could well be the case. Fingers crossed that both trials are successful so that this can become more commonplace in the future. For the full story, check out the link in the description of the podcast below. That does it for another episode of Drone Positive. Please do get in touch with us on social media. We are at Altius Images on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find us easy enough by searching Altius Images on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and now TikTok. All of the links for our channels are down below, so please do reach out. We would love to hear from you. If you haven't listened to our Droning On series, in which we interview other people in the drone industry, go back in our feed and look out for those episodes, as they're well worth a listen. And we have a new episode of Droning On coming out on Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe to make sure you don't miss that one. Thank you for listening to the episode, guys. Please subscribe to and share the podcast so that we can spread our positivity as far and wide as possible. We will see you on Wednesday for episode 4 of the Droning On podcast. But for now, fly safe and stay safe, folks. Bye-bye.